heartbeat of competition, the drama of the moment. This is TNT Sports.
Lately, Jeff Gordon has made qualifying his own personal playground, ripping off 4 consecutive Bud poles. Today in New Hampshire, he goes for number 5 in a place next to Cale Yarborough and Bobby Allison as the only drivers to do so. TNT Sports presents Bud Pole Qualifying. 46 drivers are at the New Hampshire International Speedway to try and get one of 43 starting spots in Sunday's NASCAR Nextel Cup Series race. And you see the rainbow-colored 24 of Jeff Gordon in the number 1 spot in line. Gordon to make an early bid to win his 5th consecutive Bud Pole Award, trying to do something that hasn't been done in NASCAR Nextel Cup racing since 1980. The other big story of the day, that young man, Martin Truex Jr., who will substitute for Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the Budweiser Chevy this weekend, and here's why. This was a week ago Sunday at the Infineon Raceway Road Course in California. That's Earnhardt Jr. in a factory Chevy Corvette, and he has a big fiery accident. You see the fuel filler neck broken off the car. The car bursts into flame, and although Earnhardt Jr. says he was awake the entire time, by the time he extricates himself from the car, he has suffered second-degree burns on his chin, neck, and inner thighs, burns that will force him to get out of his number 8 Chevrolet shortly after the start of Sunday's race. Matt Yoakum is with Earnhardt Jr.'s super substitute.
The super sub, Martin Truex Jr. He's competed here in both Busch North and Busch, and you got the call to fill in, and you're even wearing Dale Jr.'s suit. What's your role for this weekend, Martin?
Well, I'm just trying to get, them as much points as I can. They're happy with last place points, and anything other than that, I guess, is a bonus. So I'm just going to go out there and just try to do my own thing, do what I do every week, and try to get the best finish I can for the whole Budweiser team.
Will we see Junior in the car tomorrow or just Sunday?
I'm not sure about tomorrow. They haven't really said, but hopefully he'll get in there tomorrow and see how he likes his car and compared to how I like it and stuff. I think that'd be kind of cool. But he's definitely starting to race, so looking forward to getting qualified, just get a decent spot, and hopefully it's up front somewhere. We'll have to see about that.
Now, is this a lot of pressure, or is this just fun for you?
No, this is a lot of fun for me. A lot of people's asked me that, and it's kind of cool to do, to work with some different people. I work with Tony Jr., Tony Sr., and this whole team. Kind of get some different ideas, see how they do things, and hopefully it'll help me on the Busch car. But it's just a lot of fun, and just here to help in any way I can with these guys.
The super sub has had a super day in practice. He was second quick. He might just pick up his first career pole in Nextel Cup a little later on today. Marty?
Matt, in fact, the only man to beat Martin Truex Jr. in practice today, this man, Ryan Newman, not something that we are surprised about. Always fast here at New Hampshire. You talked about earlier this week why track position is so important here. How critical is it to start up front in this race on Sunday?
Well, it makes a big difference. Number one, to get an opportunity at leading the lap early in the race instead of late in the race. And, track position has always been very important here. The flatter racetracks, it seems like it becomes more common to hear about it. But just look forward to a good opportunity to qualify and run. We unloaded out of the truck pretty good, had a good test up here, and see how we can do with the LTL Dodge.
You mentioned the test here. This was one of your better racetracks, so why waste a test, or not waste, but why spend a test to come here?
Well, we spent one day up here. We were going to do 2 days. First day got rained out. Second day did the test, but we race here, and then Loudon's coming up again, and then as well as places like Richmond and Phoenix where we can apply the same information.
He has 4 starts here and 4 top 10 finishes. Alan?
Ryan Newman getting set to qualify his Dodge a bit later on. Brian Vickers walking toward his car on the grid. He'll be the second man to go out after his teammate Jeff Gordon. It's Bud Pole qualifying from New Hampshire beginning next. New Hampshire International Speedway, and live Bud Pole qualifying set to begin in just moments on TNT. Jeff Gordon to be the first of 46 drivers to make 2 laps on the clock around this mile track, trying to collect his 5th consecutive Bud Pole Award. Alan Bestwick, Benny Parsons, Wally Dallenbach, glad you've joined us for the first of our triple-header weekend of NASCAR on TNT. The Busch Series race tomorrow and the Nextel Cup Series race Sunday, all live right here. BP Jeff Gordon, 5 in a row. Can he do it?
He better speed up if he's going to, because in practice, they held about a 2-hour practice just prior to this qualifying session. He was just 14th best, but he was a half-second slower than the fastest car. So if he's going to do it, he's got a lot of ground to make up.
He's going to be the first one out, and then he's going to have to sit for a while and watch everybody else take a shot at his time. Wally, you've been in a fire in a racing accident before. I want to ask you 2 things about what Dale Jr. is going through today. Number 1, having to make the decision to let somebody else get in his race car, and number 2, the recovery process from being burned.
Yeah, the decision, you don't want anybody driving your race car. It doesn't matter what. I mean, everybody's driven with broken bones or sprains or whatever, but burns are different. The worst thing you can do with a burn like Dale Earnhardt Jr. has is get in a hot race car and have that friction. You really have to give those burns time to heal, and I think he's doing the right thing. He's safe in points, and he really needs to be better to do this, and he's got a good guy taking the spot.
Yeah, I don't think Truex will do a shabby job. He was good in practice today.
Not too shabby, as a matter of fact. He was second best in practice, second to Ryan Newman, and we know the Rocky Man runs pretty well here.
Going to be just a couple of minutes before the first car rolls. Dave Burns is discovering things around the track for us, as always, during our TNT Bud Pole qualifying. That would be Dave in the red shirt right there. Go ahead, Dave.
Alan, in the interest of taking fans places they can't go, showing them things that they might not know, we bring you the letter H. Well, actually, it's a little more involved than that. What we want to talk about today as I walk around New Hampshire will be air traffic around the speedway. Fans all the time see helicopters coming to and from the racetrack, but they might not know a lot about the process that's involved there. We've got drivers coming in, owners coming in, sponsors coming in, guys going back and forth from sponsor-related events during the race weekend, and then, of course, getting out of the track and beating the traffic back to the airports to take their private jets home. There's a lot of chopper traffic out here, and then you've got our aerial cams and our in-car camera helicopter, as well as military flyovers. How do they keep it all straight? Well, what you've got to do is get someone to organize it all. And the track will get an organizer, and we're going to talk to people who do that today. We're going to show you how that's done. But basically, they keep all the air traffic around this airspace, which is restricted, they just keep it all together. So we're going to take you around today, introduce you to a few things that happen with all this air traffic in the interest of getting a little bit more in-depth into the NASCAR life here. Alan?
Dave said H. I thought he was going to break into a Sesame Street song or something there for a second.
Have you ridden in his plane yet, Dave? I hear it's very nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Does he chopper from here over to his plane?
Really?
Dave does?
Well, he knows what's going on.
Dave
guys,
does?
BP, this would be the extent of my flight right here, the flight to the letter H, and unfortunately, I've got no ride out of here right now, so I don't think so.
Okay, I didn't think so either.
I don't think so. No.
All right, we'll let you off the hook on that. What is the Sesame Street song for the letter H? And my kids are 17 and 21. I don't remember anymore.
Oh, sure. You watch it every single morning. What is the song?
I have no idea. I'm sorry I brought it up now. Cloudy, overcast day. There is a threat of rain later on tonight. We should be good for the balance of the Bud Pole qualifying session, and the rain's supposed to move through overnight tonight. We'll be good to go for tomorrow afternoon's NASCAR Busch Series race, which qualifying was just completed for mere moments ago.
The top 5 in the practice session: Ryan Newman, Martin Truex Jr., Casey Kane in the 9, Jimmy Johnson 48, and Kurt Busch, the top 5 cars in practice. But Jeff Gordon was 14th, and what's this, his 5th pole with Budweiser pole in a row?
If he can win it. Wow. It would be his 5th in a row.
Now it's been since 1980 since someone did that.
Well, there's an asterisk there. Oh, let me explain.
Okay.
1972, Bobby Allison. 1980, Cale Yarborough won 5 straight pole positions. Well, Bill Elliott did it in 1985 as well, but it was over 6 races. Qualifying for one of the races was rained out.
I see.
You could say he's trying to join all 3. It was still 5 straight pole positions, right?
I got you.
All right. Just want to get that straight. So here it is. Jeff Gordon going to post the number, and then obviously we'll have to wait and see if anyone's able to top it as we go further on.
Ryan Newman ran 28.678. So you think that the wisdom would say that Jeff Gordon needs to run somewhere around 28.75 to have a shot.
He better go.
Better go fast.
29.54 for Jeff Gordon on his first lap. This racetrack, the draw for Jeff Gordon today is kind of unfortunate. This racetrack has a history of the first few cars running slowly and then the track kind of picking up speed.
Yeah, you do not want to be the first 8. You want to be after really midfield to the end. I think the guys at the end have the advantage here at New Hampshire.
All right, Jeff Gordon is done. He's over. And he's done.
And he's not going to be fast enough.
No, that's right. 29.330.
All right, so we'll wait and see what happens. Jeff Gordon, your provisional pole sitter for now.
Until the next car goes out.
With 101 cars having run. So Gordon, let's see, Brian Vickers is next, followed by Ricky Rudd, then Kurt Busch. Kurt was quick in practice. He was 5th fastest today. Then Joe Nemechek, who was 9th fastest in practice. Both of those guys, along with Ward Burton, who's going to be the 6th car to run. Ward was 10th fastest in practice. So all those guys were quicker than Jeff in today's practice sessions earlier. Here's Jeff's teammate, Brian Vickers.
He struggled. Really struggled.
Well, he's struggling there.
And he's struggling now. Doesn't look much better, does it?
No, he was
35th best, Wally, in practice.
He was definitely sliding that car a lot. We saw a lot of the Busch cars earlier doing the same thing. It's tough to get temperature in your tires here very quick. So when you go flying down into turn 3 and 4 for the green, hang on.
Let's go inside our TNT pace chase, and you'll see that he was struggling a little bit to even catch Jeff Gordon.
They had to fix something on it. Did you notice what it was they had to fix?
No.
Let's see if you can.
Oh, I saw. Yes, I did notice that,
okay,
as a matter of fact. Did I see a peacock?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, okay.
Let's see what happens with Brian Vickers. There it is. That's better. Now, the pace chase, if you're new to our NASCAR on TNT coverage, that's a real-time comparison with the GPS sensor the car carries on board, comparing the fastest lap that's been set so far today against the current lap. When it's green, he's faster than the current pole-sitting lap. When it's red, he's slower.
Okay. Oh, he was doing okay. He got up there in turn 3. He's still doing okay. I think he's going to beat Jeff Gordon. First lap was a 56. Second lap, survey says. Oh, yes, he ran a 3.0, 29.30 for Brian Vickers.
So much for the drive for 5 for Jeff Gordon, Dave. Oops, sorry, Marty. Go ahead, Marty.
Well, we're going to talk to Kurt Busch. He's the next one to go out. Alan says you have a real good shot at the pole, but is this early draw going to be a disadvantage, Kurt?
Going out early doesn't help at New Hampshire, but this is a cool car for us. It's a car that went real fast at Richmond, so the Irwin Industrial Tools team has done a good job just not turning a bolt, I hope. And I just want to send out I hope everything goes well at home to Mike Kelly, our car chief. He's at home expecting a baby this week with his wife, so I hope everything turns out well, and we'll see what we got for qualifying, but we know it's a better race car.
Matt?
And Jeff Gordon, you picked up on your second lap, Jeff, but I know you're not happy with the performance today.
No, it's about been what we've been all day. I mean, we've just been way off. You know, and this is one of the tracks I really like. And I remember when Goodyear, you know, had this tire here, I really liked it. But boy, I haven't been liking it today. Just been real uncomfortable getting in the corner. Can't really get aggressive whatsoever. I just feel like you know, I'm not driving the car. It's just kind of driving me. So we got some work to do, and this is one of the tracks that we can certainly pull it off. But we're going to be coming from the back.
And Ricky Rudd is on track now for his Bud Pole effort. The Brothers Motorcraft Ford.
And Wally, we're seeing each car so far, the second lap has been better than the first. And some of the guys talked about in practice, the more laps you put on the tires, the faster they would become.
Yeah, and lately this place, sometimes your fastest lap could be your 30th or 40th on a set of tires. So the plate, you know, you go down in here and qualify, you drive the car in real deep and you just hope it sticks. You're just saying, okay, I hope these tires grip. And if you feel like the tires grip, you can get back on the throttle. But so far, you can hear a lot of these cars qualifying, they're not getting real aggressive with the throttle.
Ricky's first lap was the faster of the two. 29.530 seconds. Don't forget, Ricky finished second in the last race here last September. He started pretty deep in the field, 31st to do that. Marty?
I tell you, Alan, all of a sudden it's gotten kind of cloudy and cool down here, Kevin Harvick. Is that going to help your qualifying lap at all?
Well, we hope so. We were a little bit off in the second run that we did there in the GM Goodwin Chevrolet, but made a couple small adjustments, and everything's so close that you got to gain a tenth or just over that to gain quite a few spots. So we'll see what happens and go from there.
We were talking about this race car. He said, I know it'll race better than it might qualify. Same car he finished second with in this race last year.
Busch on the track now, and on the green flag for the first of his 2 flying laps. Kurt, 5th fastest in practice. Mentioned that a minute ago.
Hey, Kurt looked like he got some grip. That was the best I've seen so far. Somebody go through there in 1 and 2.
But look at this. Our TNT pace chase says that he is not nearly as fast as Jeff Gordon. And Jeff Gordon was about a 1/3 of a second slower than he ran in practice. But once again, on extended runs with hot tires. All right, maybe on this second lap he can get something going.
Check the first lap time for Kurt. It's good for 3rd position out of 4. 29.503.
Well, so far, pace chase said it's green, green, green.
Ooh, did he just scuff the wall?
Didn't check
Tire mark over there.
But there again, he's not making any speed. He must have backed up a little bit off turn 2 because he lost some time.
Let's check the paint here.
Clean.
Tell you what, he almost got the wall again.
That cost him right there.
Sure did.
Well, if he didn't catch it, he gave it a good scare. But for Kurt Busch, he will be 3rd out of 4. And his first lap was the better of the 2. Brian Vickers, the early leader in Bud Pole qualifying at New Hampshire. NASCAR Bud Pole qualifying from New Hampshire International Speedway on TNT is brought to you by Budweiser. It's time for a fresh one. Grab a Budweiser. The race is on. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Honda, the company that defines performance in motorcycles, ATVs, personal watercraft, and scooters. Continuing live coverage of Bud Pole qualifying on TNT with Joe Nemechek, one of the top 10 fastest from practice out in the U.S. Army machine.
And I tell you, this qualifying so far has really been confusing. Look at Nemechek go in the corner and slide up the hill. Somehow these cars are just not getting any kind of grip.
Yeah, especially getting in. So far, everybody's had trouble getting in, especially in the turn 3 over there.
I mean, Nemechek in practice ran a 29 flat. His first lap, 29.36. Slowed down 1/3 of a second. And normally in qualifying trim, these cars run a little bit faster.
Pace Chase says he's quicker than Brian Vickers on this lap.
Last time he really struggled getting in this corner. So far.
Here it comes. It's spinning backwards.
Green, green, green.
Oh, he's got it. There you go.
These cars look like sprint cars up there in turn 3. If you watch the left front wheel.
So Joe Nemechek goes to the head of the class. 29.236, 130.278 miles an hour. And there's the man he just bumped off the pole. Let's hear from him.
In 6 of the last 8 races, Brian Vickers qualified the top 5. Now, your teammate, Jeff Gordon, he was seeking more grip. How was your car, Brian?
We were the same way. We were definitely seeking more grip. I think the track slowed down a lot, but the GMAC Chevy team did a good job. We focused, just about the whole practice this morning on race trim, and we paid the price in qualifying. We felt like it was going to rain a lot tomorrow. We didn't feel like we were going to get any race practice in, so we were really happy with the car in race trim. We almost ran as fast in race trim as we did in qualifying trim, but I still think we'll come out with a solid qualifying, but I'm still looking forward to, optimistically, the race, because the car was so good in race trim.
Nearly won a race here in the NASCAR Busch Series, finishing 3rd, hoping for a win on Sunday, guys.
Next up to qualify is Ward Burton in the 0. Some changes at this team this week.
New crew chief this week, Bill Engel, has taken over. He and Tony Furr kind of traded jobs, and then 2 days later, Furr left. So I guess
he wasn't happy with the trade.
Evidently not. So, and he seemed to be. Billy said he was fine with it when they first talked about it, but he is no longer with the Net Zero car.
Ward Burton was 10th fastest in practice earlier today. First lap's going to be second quick to Joe Nemechek, 29.262.
And this has been the best first lap of any of the cars that have run so far. And we see our TNT Pace Chase, Green. He is right now much faster than Nemechek.
Here's the spot right here. He can get through there. Looks like he did.
Looks like it. Here he comes.
Got back to the gas nice and cleanly,
he did.
Right? No wiggling and wobbling.
That's the key here.
And so it is a new Bud Pole qualifying leader. Wow, 29.112 for Ward Burton, and he bumps Joe Nemechek out of the top spot.
Hey, Matt, these guys are going to stop talking to you if every time you talk to them they get bumped off the pole.
BP, but they talked to Marty first.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, good news for Joe Nemechek. Bad news, you got knocked off the pole, but good news, you're back in this car next year, Joe.
Absolutely. I'm proud and honored to be re-signed with this whole MB2 U.S. Army, USG sheetrock team. These guys have been working hard, giving me great equipment. And it looks like our luck's changing a little bit, so that's good. I mean, we're right there knocking on the door, and we're going to win one here pretty quick. And
especially a place like this where you have a lot of good success.
We've had a lot of good runs here, and this weekend hopefully will be no different. Doing double duty, so get to do a little bit more, get some more laps on the track. Car's driving good. You know, the first lap I messed up right in the middle of 3 and 4. I got a little bit squirrely and kind of killed my first lap, but the second one kind of popped back up there, and we'll take it.
His first win, Nextel Cup, came right here on the Magic Mile back in 1999.
This is Casey Mears on track in the 41.
He made a left to right, a left to right.
He got on the gas, got off the gas, back on the gas, and you can see at our TNT pace chase, he is suffering because of that.
He's hoping lap 2 is much better.
Throw that one away and regroup.
Casey looking for his third Nextel Cup Series start at this racetrack. 35th and 18th for his 2 starting spots a year ago.
Yeah, a little bit better, but pace chase, he's still not on target to win the pole, but
you see that left front wheel. I mean, every car you go through there, watch that left front. It's just in and out, turns left and right. You can really see him fighting these cars.
This could be about a 3rd place run. Let's see. What do you know?
Very good.
29.296 for Casey Mears.
He was 27th in practice. See how it shakes out. Dave has still not figured out the Sesame Street song to sing for us, has he?
H. Let's sing a song of H.
Oh, we're doing numbers now.
How many is H? Oh, wait. H is a letter. Okay, never mind. I don't know the song yet, Alan, but I'm working on it, all right?
Thank you.
I haven't moved from my spot here because I want to talk about how this whole thing happens with the airspace over a track on a race weekend. It's about coordination. It's about communication. And I mentioned that the airspace is restricted. You can't even get in here until you have talked to the FAA, the TSA, Homeland Security. It takes a lot of coordination. And I mentioned the guys who put it together, and they're the guys from ETA. This is Jeff Flournoy, who is part of the 2-man team, and actually more people involved. And Jeff, what role do you guys play in really keeping everyone safely in and out and through this airspace on a weekend?
Dave, for the past 6 or 7 years, we've been working the role of coordinating all the airspace in the area. When we came here 6 or 7 years ago, we got busy in the air. Everybody kind of makes the assumption that people are talking to each other with flyovers and banner tows and everybody else. But we kind of established that radio contact between all these operators out here so that we can keep this safe both in the ground and on the air.
And they basically monitor your frequency so everyone knows what's going on because of the information you're disseminating, right?
That's correct. When we establish a frequency, we run a base station here off the ground throughout the event so that we can all be talking to each other.
So what happens when these flyovers happen on the pre-race show and these big, huge military jets come through?
We get the heck out of the way. That's why we do.
Exactly. Keeps everyone informed, guys, and make sure that everyone is listening. The pilots listen, and they know what's going on. They may be queued up outside the speedway, but Jeff and his team are making sure that everyone is aware of what's going on.
And Jeff does a good job. I'm sure you've used him before. I mean, those guys really do a good job of getting people in and out of these racetracks.
Here's Hermie Sadler. That was for whom Wally was doing
my moment.
And he was 8th best out of the 8 cars that have qualified so far, 30.129.
8 of 46 have completed Bud Pole qualifying runs at Loudon. A lot of NASCAR action on TNT for you throughout the weekend. Tomorrow, starting at noon Eastern time, it's NASCAR Nextel Cup Series Happy Hour, followed by the NASCAR Busch Series race at 1 Eastern. Then on Sunday, Discover Card Countdown to Green kicks us off at 1:30 Eastern time, followed by the 300 lapper here at New Hampshire International Speedway. It's all live on TNT.
Sterling Marlin in the 40 car, next car out to qualify, and he, like his teammate Casey Mears, struggled a little bit in practice, just 27th best for the 40 car of Sterling Marlin. I'm sorry, 29th best.
This isn't one of Sterling's better racetracks.
Well, you know, lately it hasn't been, but when this track first opened, he was up front knocking around for the win all the time. In fact, the very first race here, he led over a third of it. Just the last couple of years, he just hasn't been able to find any luck. He finished second here in 2001, and since then they've all been in the 20s or 30s.
He's going to have to find some speed here pretty quick.
I'll tell you what, Sterling they've struggled a lot in this 40 car since that crash in Kansas a couple of years ago, about a year and a half ago.
one where he got hurt.
Yeah, where he broke his neck.
And had the chance to win the championship, kind of disappeared.
All right, first lap is over. Second lap is over. Man, he's still struggling. 8th best. 8th out of the 9th. Best lap, 29.646. All right, at least you're going to interview someone that's not been knocked off the pole, Matt.
BP, an early draw. Ward Burton still on the pole. But how is the chemistry now, Ward, with your new crew chief, Bill Engel, who was the shop foreman for this team?
It's good. You know, Tony did a great job for us, and still consider him a hell of a good friend and a good asset to us at Hoss Racing. Bill and the chemistry and working with Ken is working really good right off the bat. Today, the track really changed a lot from going out early. It left a little bit on the table out there just because of the luck of the draw, but Net Zero Chevrolet's been working good since we got here.
Quickly, were you surprised by the change of crew chiefs?
We hadn't given it a lot of thought. I hadn't given it any thought. I got a phone call early this week. You know, it's a business that has taken on some turns that keeps all of us on our toes, and Tony's still a heck of an asset to us, and I still consider him a heck of a friend. I know he's a guy that I can call on in time to get advice, so it's just one of those things that the team felt like was the right thing to do.
And BP, you've gone through that during your career.
Yeah.
Crew chief swaps, trying to find that all-important chemistry.
Oh, so many times. And chemistry is everything in this business. Being able to communicate with that crew chief, tell him when you say it's loose, he understands exactly what you mean when you say it. I used to tell people that took about there's loose, and loose.
Really loose.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to have somebody that understand when you're saying something about the car, how much adjustment that they have to make during that pit stop.
Kevin Harvick, second lap. His first one was good for 5th place. Second one's going to be good for 3rd place inside of row 2.
And Kevin ran about the same speed in this qualifying run that he ran in practice.
First lap, 25. Second lap, that's 3rd right now.
It's Todd Berrier, his crew chief, telling him where he's at. So Harvick 3rd out of 10 to go. Jimmy Johnson coming up shortly. Jimmy Johnson owned this New Hampshire International Speedway last year. Well, not the title and deed to it, but certainly the rights to victory lane. Remember the September race? His pit crew cleaned out in a mid-race accident when Jeff Gordon and Michael Waltrip collided on pit row, and still they came back to score the victory. Marty's with Jimmy right now.
And everybody seeks a little advice from Jimmy Johnson, including Robbie Gordon, trying to get some advice on the perhaps qualifying lap. Did you give me tips?
We're just talking about the off weekend, what we did on the off weekend. It's great. Everybody watches and thinks that we're all having these great conversations and stuff, and only if people knew what we were really talking about.
Exactly. This racetrack you guys were so terrific at last year, but it seems like it's changed a lot since practice. That worry you for your qualifying lap at all?
Yeah, you know, the track kind of does that. You know, it sits a while. Fortunately for us, the sun's going away, so hopefully it'll be closer to practice for us. But qualifying, it's always a handful for everyone, so we knew to expect that coming in. But it's been the best driving car I've had in qualifying trim. I just hope it all, you know, crosses over to the race. It's going to be hard to beat the record that we've had here in this Lowe's Monte Carlo last year, winning both races and all. But car's great. Guys are working their butts off. The motors are strong. Bodies are good. Hendrick Motorsports is rocking, and we want to get a trophy and take it home in the memory of Papa Joe Hendrick this week. So, you know, definitely looking forward to good things.
Jimmy and I were just talking about the weather. I'd say from the first car when he went out, it's at least 5 degrees, maybe 10 degrees cooler down here, guys.
Dumping a lot of water out of the back of that thing. On a day like today, that's not really going to evaporate too quick.
Kyle Petty on track now, completing his qualifying run.
His second lap, best lap, 29.736, but he still is only the 10th qualifier.
11. So work to be done there for Kyle and company as they get ready for race trim. And Jimmy Johnson referring to the loss of Papa Joe Hendrick, the patriarch, if you will, of the Hendrick Motorsports family, father of Rick and John Hendrick, who passed away this past week at the age of 84.
Went by the funeral last Saturday, and what a crowd of people. Someone said, again, whether it's true or not, I don't know, but someone in the crowd said the Concord Airport, they had to shut it down because they had so many airplanes there.
Yeah.
People coming in for Papa Joe's funeral.
Certainly our condolences to Rick and John and all of their family. Talking to different people within the Hendrick organization about Papa Joe, people who've been associated with it over the years. Talked with Ken Schrader about it earlier in the week. Talked with Gary Dehart of longtime Hendrick Motorsports employee, former crew chief for Terry Labonte, now works in their R&D program. He said that Papa Joe was one of those people who always had a smile, and that all you need to know about what kind of a man Papa Joe was what kind of a man Rick and John Hendrick are.
Copies, you're right.
Yeah. And here's Matt Kenseth, defending series champion, on track for his Bud Pole run. Matt's not had the best of luck in qualifying here. He races well, but he hasn't had the best of luck in time trials.
And first lap, he was 9th best out of the 12 cars that have qualified. Now this looks like it might be a little bit better than that, but it's still not a pole position run. I was kidding Robbie Roger this morning about getting his car ready to sit on the pole, and he just laughed because 17 in the pole is not something you put together.
See a lot of. He started on the pole for this race a year ago.
It must have been raining.
It was.
Okay.
They were lined up on points, and he was first.
All right. Seventh quick.
And Matt, with only one top 10 start so far this year, we'll see where he shakes out when the final numbers are in on today. Let's go downstairs.
Kevin Harvick nearly won this race 1 year ago, finishing second. Now, you had a good balanced day that day. How tricky, though, is this racetrack to find the proper balance in the car?
Well, for qualifying, it's not quite as tricky as the Busch cars because you can scuff your tires, but it's so easy to overdrive or get in the throttle too soon or over-adjust on something. But the car was pretty good, just a little bit loose in 1 and 2, but good in 3 and 4. So, all in all, the GM Goodwinter Chevrolet was good. And I got to say, thanks to all the folks at Sylvania. This is kind of their home place and sponsor the race, and we enjoy everything that they do for us, and glad that they could get involved in the whole sport.
Currently in the top 5, let's go to Marty.
This ought to be a good conversation. These three guys together. Have we solved all the world's problems, Mikey?
We're talking about hooking our left foot under a roll bar, tightening the car up, putting more padding in the headrest, makes it tighter. Schrader said if you just take the steering wheel and move it 1 notch to the left, then you don't have to turn it as much. That makes it tighter too. So we were just sharing some secrets about our driving styles, and we're critiquing Jamie's body that he's got on his car.
That's a lot in one conversation, isn't it?
The body he has on his car.
I understand that.
Not his
body.
Relatively tight young rear end or anything like that. Just his car.
This has completely gotten out of hand. You've been standing here at the front of the line watching qualifying for a while. What have you learned?
I just try to watch where everybody goes in on the front straightaway as far as these numbers 2, 3, 1. I know what I was doing in practice. I know everybody usually steps it up a little bit in qualifying, and I've never been guilty of underdriving it in qualifying. I always give it too much, and I just was trying to get a sense, a gauge of what everybody else was doing, just thinking about my car, and then started talking to those two weirdos.
And it's so easy to overdrive a car here too, isn't it?
Yeah, you have to watch it, and you just have to be smooth. But yet you need a car that you can push as hard as you can, because that's the only way you can get a fast time. You gotta be free, but you gotta get it hooked up. It's really a driver's track when it comes to qualifying. It's a difficult job to do.
All right, that's the world according to Mikey, and he likes Jamie McMurray's body on his car.
Thank you. Carl Long, 9th fastest out of 13 so far, hoping to make the field. Tony Stewart walking to his car for his Bud Pole qualifying run coming up shortly. NASCAR Bud Pole qualifying from New Hampshire on TNT. Back as Greg Biffle takes the green flag. It is Roush Racing number 16.
And he was 16th in the practice session, but the lap that he ran in practice was not be fast enough to upset Ward Burton off the pole position. Right now, Ward is the man out of 14 cars.
Tell you what, it looks pretty good right there.
Ooh, he's a little high down there.
Well, he was looking pretty good.
Hey, this racetrack is a little bit different than most, and you maybe need to just clarify what is good and what's high, because they're not right down against the yellow line here like they are at a number of other tracks.
Really, you drive the car in and you let the car go. You almost diamond the racetrack here. And there again, it comes back to you're just waiting for the tires to grip. I mean, you would love to run down on the bottom, but the tires just aren't gripping down there. So
if he can hang there, look at him. This is going green, green. Oh, now he goes back to the red.
Still going to be a good lap.
It's going to be good on the outside pole currently. Should be second best.
Second fastest.
29,
all right,
190.
29.19. That's P2.
Crew Chief
Sorry,
Doug
guys,
Richard.
I just 2 gun shy for wrecking that Busch car.
Earlier in NASCAR Busch Series qualifying, Greg came charging up off the corner and bounced the right sides off the wall, and he's going to start last in that 200 lapper tomorrow on a past champions provisional.
In a backup car.
If you're a fan of Track Pass, NASCAR.com's live race application, got a special offer you might be interested in. Your first month of Track Pass for just $1.
Darn, we got away with a free deal, didn't we?
Check it out, NASCAR.com. Oh, even you can part with $1, BP.
All right, $1, I'll do it. $1, I'll do it. All right.
Here's Jimmy Spencer. Morgan McClure Racing Chevy. Team that's been struggling to find sponsorship and struggling to find results on the racetrack at the same time. Generally, those two are interconnected.
Yeah, and struggling to find some speed here.
This hasn't been Jimmy's best track for qualifying over the years. His best ever time trial at New Hampshire.
Wow, sorry, B, but that's a little bit loose there.
The very first race here for the Nextel Cup Series in 1993, 11th. And Pace Chase says not too good.
Like I said, he's going to have to throw that first one away and start all over.
What's the smoke?
What was that?
That could be a reason why it's not too good, too. Smoke out the exhaust pipe.
Saw some smoke there.
And that was when you were up, unless he was backing out of the throttle.
Tell you what, boys, this is not a bad run. Well, it's going the wrong way. Wrong way. Oh, well. Marty, it doesn't look like Spencer's going to be able to do it.
BP, I don't think he's going to be able to do it, but one guy that could do it this weekend is Dale Jarrett. Team certainly been on the surge lately, DJ. You've won here in the past. You've got to feel good coming back to a track that's one of your better tracks.
Yeah, I enjoy racing here. It's a real challenge because, as you can tell, there's not a lot of banking in the corners. Driver really has to work hard, not only inside the car, but thinking and relating to his crew chief what the car is doing and where you can make it better. So hopefully we can get this UPS Ford up close to the front this weekend.
You guys are getting awfully close to the top 10. How much do you start paying attention to that now? Because you've got a real shot to make the chase for the championship.
Yeah, we do have a shot at that now. We put ourselves in that position. But as far as looking at it and doing anything different, we just need to continue doing what we've built on here, and that's getting ourselves positioned in the top 10 as far as each race and giving ourselves a chance at the end of the race to be in the top 5 and maybe get into victory lane here soon. If we can do that, the rest of it will take care of itself.
Alan?
Dale Jarrett, former winner here at New Hampshire International Speedway. 2001, remember this fight?
With his teammate. Well, Ricky Rudd in that 28 car then, wasn't it?
Jarrett went on to score the victory. The big brown truck delivered on that day. Hey, he could say on target, I can do the...
There you go. Very nice.
Come on. Stay with us here, Wally.
I'm working on it.
Here's Jeff Green.
Another car that struggled in practice, 36th best. And let's see. So far, he's still struggling, but just first lap. Can he get it together on the second?
Reminder about what Pace Chase is all about. The green and the red ball in the center, telling how the current lap time compares with the leader. And this number here that you see bouncing around, that's where the driver stands right there on his lap as far as where he's going to end up overall.
That's not too bad if he could 8th best out of the 16 cars.
Took a tumble there.
Uh-oh.
Nope, 8th fastest.
There you go.
Must have just been when he lifted off the gas after the finish line. 29:47 for Jeff Green. Pretty good.
Where's Dave?
Where is Dave?
He's discovering.
BP, I've ceased singing for the moment, though, because I wanted to talk serious helicopter action with Rusty Wallace here. So, Rusty is both a client of Jeff and of Steve Henry, who we just talked to, Jeff Flournoy, and he's also a pilot, pilots his own. Sometimes he rides long. How important is it, Rusty, that those guys are coordinating the airspace around here to you as a pilot?
It's very important. Jeff and Steve do a great job, you know, because there's a lot of charters that come in and out after every single race and before all the race, bringing our sponsors in, bringing drivers, owners, family members, but a lot of sponsors in and out. I tell you, there's a lot of movement going on. So safety's number one, no doubt about that. And I think Steve and Jeff do a great job together organizing all that. We're always talking to them on the radio. They're either clearing us to pad 1 or pad 2 or pad 3. A lot of organization goes on right there.
Now, you had a helicopter you really liked, but I understand you're going to get a new toy here, or just got a new toy?
No. I've had 3 different helicopters. I've had the Bell L1, the Bell 407, and recently I just signed a nice 4-year contract with Bell Helicopter. Now we're flying the new Bell 427 twin engine. And I'm doing a lot of demo work for Bell with it and showing it around. And my chief pilot, Billy Brooks, has done a lot of flying, doing a good job for a lot of people. But this latest one's really a cool piece. It's a twin engine, so it's double safe. It carries a lot of weight, and we've been hauling a lot of people in it.
I was going to say, any extra seats on this one Sunday night after the race, Rusty?
It's not up here. We're charging from Steve this week. And Jeff.
Darn, we'll have to go another direction, BP. Sorry.
Maybe another race, right?
Yeah, exactly.
When it's at home, you can fly in it.
Okay, we'll do it.
You bet.
Shouldn't have said that, Rusty.
Uh-huh.
Dave will be standing there.
Twin engine helicopter.
Yeah, I didn't know different from a Bell 101 to a 301. But you figure when it gets to the last one, it's got to be the coolest one.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you say two engines, that sounds a whole lot better.
Kevin LePage needing some more speed. He is 17th out of 17 to this point for the Shelburne, Vermont native. Matty?
Well, we heard Greg Biffle say on the radio he was a little too conservative. How much do you feel like that conservative cost you, Greg?
Well, it cost me at least a tenth and a half or so. You know, just was real gun shy about wrecking that Busch car. I got down in the corner there and see my black marks still in the wall in 3 and 4. And, you know, just wanted to get the National Guard car just a good lap. And I got into 3 and 4 there, and it kind of spooked me, and I run it up the hill, and then I got tight on my first lap, so I ran a 50, and I knew it was way better car than that, and, you know, 19 on the second lap. But the guys, I told them they did a great job. It was a great car. Probably capable of being on the pole if I'd have drove it right.
Thanks, Greg.
That is Greg Biffle's NASCAR Busch Series qualifying effort from earlier. You saw him bouncing off the safer barrier.
And that knocks a little confidence out of you when that happens.
Yes.
No matter how brave you are.
I guess that's the one detriment to running a NASCAR Busch Series car in conjunction with the Nextel Cup. Mike Wallace in the 50 car this week.
Speaking of doing double duty.
Yes.
Mike going to run the Nextel Cup Series race in this car, qualifying provided. And the NASCAR Busch Series race in his usual machine. Qualified 22nd for tomorrow's 200-lapper. Lap number 1 for Mike Wallace, 15th out of 18. And a 29.666 would be the lap time.
If he can just pick it up about 3/10, he would be looking pretty. About 8th, 7th, 8th position.
Good news for all these guys trying to get into the field that maybe are a little far down in the owner points. One car has withdrawn, the 00 of Ryan McGlynn. He's having a lot of trouble trying to make his Nextel Cup debut. They're having a lot of trouble in the template room and so on. And they have withdrawn the car from the race.
All right, Mike Wallace on his second lap, a little bit quicker, but not much. 6.22. And he will still be 14th best.
Ward Burton fastest in butt pole qualifying. Mark Martin still to come. Butt pole qualifying from New England, New Hampshire International Speedway on TNT. This is Robbie Gordon and the Richard Childress Racing singular car out to make his time lapse.
He was, what, about 19th or 20th in practice, wasn't he?
19th, yep, 19th. He ran a 20. If he could duplicate that, he would be third. But it said normally, oh, green, green, green when he first went down in the corner, but it doesn't take long to go that other direction, does it?
He drove in there pretty hard.
That was kind of a square-looking corner there. Drove it in there and then yanked the wheel left.
And if you have a tendency, if you drive in too hard, you get on the brake too much, and that's really what it looked like there.
Robbie, of course, got his first NASCAR Nextel Cup Series win here at New Hampshire. Remember the weekend on Thanksgiving in 2001. The race postponed because of the events of 9/11, and we came here on Thanksgiving weekend, and Robbie started 31st.
Now that looked a lot better.
Sure did.
He didn't. You see the nose didn't jump down when he got on the brakes. He rolled out of it, used a little brake.
Well, that wheel is going to the wrong way quickly. That's coming back. You've got a good third turn.
Good lap.
Sure is. This is going to be about, where is he, 5th or 6th? 5th best.
That's pretty good recovery.
Yeah. Yep.
29, 27. All right, Mark Martin had a great run going into Chicagoland, but engine let him down with, what, 2 laps to go, Marty?
You know, I tell you what, BP, sometimes you just feel bad for a guy. I honestly felt bad for you last Sunday. Does the off week make it worse, or does it make it easier to get over that, something like that?
I don't know. I forgot about it now. You know, I'm just really blessed with this Viagra team. They really gave me great cars lately. And, you know, I think we can win some more races, and, you know, that's a good thing. I try to focus on that.
You're 15th on the speed chart, but just told me you're not happy with the car. What's wrong with it?
These guys have spoiled me lately with some really great stuff. This car's not that good.
All right, Mark saying it's not that good. It was awfully good in Chicago. If he would have finished just where he was, BP, he would have been 64 points out of the chase for the championship in 11th. Those are disheartening numbers, aren't they?
And that's not Dale Earnhardt Jr. that you see walking with a Budweiser uniform on. That's Martin Truex Jr., who will be driving the Budweiser car this weekend, be qualifying the car.
Boy, that looked good. I don't know what the chase says, but that sure looked good. It says it looked good.
It says it looks real good. Green, green, green for Jimmy Johnson.
By the way, that is Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s uniform, but it's Martin Truex Jr. in it. Yeah.
Different body in it.
Go, man. First lap.
Look at here.
Jimmy Johnson, 4th fastest in practice.
On the pole now.
Trying to win 3 straight here at this New Hampshire International Speedway after sweeping the races here in 2003.
Quicker. And you know, this is based on his first lap, so it's a little bit quicker.
Yep. Ooh, he's in that rev limiter. That means he got off of turn 2 really well.
Johnson won the Bud Pole at the Lowe's Motor Speedway Charlotte back Memorial Weekend for the Coca-Cola 600.
Flying.
Yeah, but he's almost as fast as Ryan Newman was in practice.
28.85.
Wow. Good lap, Jimmy. Chad, way to go, guys. Great race car.
Jimmy Johnson started 6th and 8th in his 2 winning runs here a year ago, and he's on the pole right now after 20 of 45 drivers have made their Bud Pole qualifying runs. Guys ahead of him in practice, Ryan Newman, Martin Truex Jr., and Casey Kane, all 3 of whom have yet to run.
Boy, that car was hooked up.
It sure was.
1 and 2.
Braves baseball coming up on TBS. New York Mets are the opponent for the Braves as they continue to fight for the top spot with the Philadelphia Phillies in the National League East. I thought Sunday at 1 Eastern on TBS.
I thought Bobby Cox and the guys were struggling this year with the Atlanta Braves, and every time I looked, they were 3 or 4 games out. I happened to look in the paper the other day, and guess what? They were leading.
I hear you went to the Sox game yesterday. Brought him a lot of luck.
Yeah.
You did really well for him.
Thanks. We went to Fenway. The Red Sox split a day-night doubleheader with the Orioles.
And escorted you out?
No, no.
Jeremy Mayfield, the 19 car. He was 7th best in practice, and right now, pretty good lap going based on what Jimmy Johnson ran.
We did consume our share of hot dogs, though.
Yeah.
So he didn't set any records. Hey, looky here. This is going to be a 2nd outside pole if he keeps going. Can he keep it up there? Looks like he might.
Just missed. 29.031. Needs about, what, a 10th and a half or so to get Jimmy Johnson?
He's right there.
Yeah, he's right there.
Get through 3 and 4 really good.
He backed off a little bit early, but now he's going to get back on quickly, which ought to help him off the corner. Started going the wrong way off the corner. He could not get back on the throttle the way he wanted to.
Well, you want to stand on it.
Yeah.
But you can't.
Still, Jeremy Mayfield moves on to the outside of row number 1. Almost identical time on his 2nd lap. He ran a 29.031 the first lap and a 0.38 on the 2nd.
Hey, Matt, that Jimmy Johnson car was hooked up.
Certainly was. Talking to crew chief Chad Canals. Now, the guys in the booth, Jimmy, were saying how good that race car looked on the racetrack. How would you describe your lap?
Very, very good. I mean, this has been the most fun I've had ever driving a race car in my career. This whole year, really driving Hendrick Motorsports in general. So much support from all the employee owners at Lowe's, support at Hendrick Motorsports. When I get in the race car, there's no pressure, and it's just time to go out and have some fun. Today, we worked through some things in practice. The car wasn't real good, but we just didn't lose our cool and kept making adjustments and had a pretty good lap there. You know, it's going to be tough to beat the Rocket Man. He blistered a lap in practice, but, you know, it's pretty solid, and we're not ashamed of that lap. And hopefully it'll hold up for a red hat, but we need one.
In the Rocket Man, Ryan Newman.
Oh, hang on, Mikey.
Michael Waltrip, who, remember, was so very competitive in both of last year's races here, only to have bad luck or different things happen at the end and take him out of good finishes.
He got a good run going so far. He's 3rd best on his first lap. Outside pole so far, 3rd. Be a good lap, and he's got another one to go. Can he pick it up on this 2nd lap?
29.076 on lap 1, good for 3rd position.
Remember a couple of years ago how well he ran in this car?
That was last year. That's what I was talking about. Remember, he was leading the race late in September, came down pit road for a splash and go on fuel, and the fuel can got hung in the car, and he dragged it out of the pit box, and
that's right.
Had the penalty.
Right now, they
This
could sit down front row. Yes, sir. Not Jeremy Mayfield, I believe.
Yep, there it is.
There you go. 29.96.
Second driver into the 28-second bracket for Michael Waltrip. Talking about what happened to Mikey here at New Hampshire a year ago.
Oh, man.
Leading the race in the final laps.
And that's what he said right there.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Exactly.
So Michael hoping for, I don't want to say a similar performance. He wants to run as well, but have a better finishing result.
Right.
Here tomorrow, or Sunday, I should say. So good job for Waltrip and his team on the outside of the front row. Martin Truex, Michael's teammate for the weekend, is getting set to run.
Alan, we were going to talk to him about, there's no name on here, but the fact that he's wearing a Budweiser uniform, he was just telling Elliott Sadler it's going to make him have a big head by the end. That's not going to make you have an ego, is it?
What's that?
You were telling Elliott that you wearing this uniform is going to make your head blow up.
No, I said all you got to do is put it on and they all cheer for you.
And you signed a few autographs, right?
Yeah, no, this is cool. I'm real happy to get this opportunity. Got to thank all these guys and just trying to do the best job we can for Dale Jr. and Budweiser. Hopefully it gets better and be 100% for next week.
Are the nerves going right now, or are you pretty calm?
No, I'm pretty calm. You know, hey, this is my job. This is what I do. So I'm going to try to give it all I got out here. We'll see what we got.
That's certainly the right approach. Very calm and cool, collected guy. Not nervous at all, even though he's getting ready to hop in the Budweiser car and qualified for the first time.
And Jamie McMurray, third best, halfway through the second lap. His first lap, he was third. Can he pick it up? No, he's not going to pick it up.
Had a little bobble there into 3.
Pretty good effort, though. McMurray was 8th fastest in practice, and he picks it up to 3rd out of 23.
Now, Casey Mears and Sterling Marlin's crew, they need to go down and talk to Donnie Wingo and these guys on the 42 car and get the setup.
I think they probably are.
Yeah. Dale Jarrett is due next, followed by Mark Martin, Terry Labonte, then Tony Stewart, and Bobby Hamilton Jr. And we're halfway through the Bud Pole qualifying session as DJ comes out of the track. Jeremy Mayfield, pretty solid run. He's been bumped back to 4th right now, Matt.
A very good run by Mayfield. Now, you were over talking to your Owensboro Pies member, Michael Waltrip. He bumped you off there. How close was it?
I don't know what he ran, but we had a good lap all in all, and I just told him I didn't make it in. We were already bumped back to 3rd, so still a good lap for all the guys on the Abraham Motorsports team and all the Dodge dealers out there in Dodge and everybody. We got a great race car and really looking forward to Sunday. And, you know, had no idea we were going to run a flat. It didn't a little tighter than what I thought it was going to be, but still it's a good lap for us.
All right, DJ ran a 29.12. And our TNT pace chase says right now he's about 2/10 off of Jimmy Johnson's speed. Going the other direction, 3/10. Can we go to 4? Yeah, don't do that. Do not want to do that, DJ. All right, we'll throw this away and start over. How's that?
I think so.
Yeah, good idea.
Right there.
Start over.
Yeah, okay, now we're first.
All right, here we go.
Well,
not for long. Man.
Best qualifying for Dale Jarrett here was a 2nd back in 1999. You know, he had like 8 straight top 10 starts here, but then the last 4 times he's been in the 20s or 30s. So struggling in qualifying at New Hampshire has been a recent theme for Jarrett and company.
Was it last year in this race that he spun off turn 4 and all those cars came around and caused the rules change to racing back to the flag?
Last year's September race.
Was it September?
Yeah.
It was the DJ spinning off turn 4 and all those cars racing back to the line. Finally, someone at the NASCAR said, you know, this is dangerous. We need to change that rule.
So inside of row number 7 for Dale Jarrett thus far. Speed Channel continuing coverage of NASCAR from here at New Hampshire. Tonight it's trackside at 7 o'clock Eastern time. And what will be a phenomenal race, I know it before we even see it, the NASCAR Featherlight Modified Series. They run restrictor plates at this racetrack. They have a big draft. They put on a whale of a show, and that's Saturday night at 10 Eastern. Tape delayed coverage on Speed Channel.
All right, Mark Martin said he was struggling in this car to find some speed. He was 15th best in practice. All right, let's see if he was telling us the truth or just fibbing. Our TNT pace going the wrong way. He's almost a half second off, a half a lap in.
Hey, you remember who won the first ever pole position at this racetrack for Nextel Cup cars?
I bet he's going to tell us. Kenny Schrader.
No.
Wally Dollar.
Why do you think I come up with a question like that just out of the blue? Perhaps it's the man that's on the track?
Oh, there you go.
Come on, man.
Okay.
Mark Martin, July 1993, started first, finished second.
Well, think back of those days, Mark, because right now you're 18th best.
Boy, I thought that was as easy as it could be. There were people at home screaming at their TV sets, Wally. Come on.
You know I'm not good at schoolwork. All right, let's see. Mark, did he improve a couple spots? He did, up to 14th. 29.35. All right, driver 15 did not overdrive this time. Did it perfectly, Matt.
He was sitting on the windowsill of his car, and the 42 came in and roughed you up. He gave you a little bump draft while you were sitting here. What's that for?
I guess he didn't like me critiquing his body earlier. He said, isn't it cool how hard you can hit somebody and it doesn't really even do anything? So he's just goofing around. I was real happy with my lap. I didn't really handle like I hoped to. You can go to napafilters.com and join our contest and win a trip to the races in Charlotte in October. I'm supposed to say that. My trusty PR girl, Brooke, standing there with a sign. It says Napa filters or Napa oil filters? Napa filters, no oil. Go there.
And my boss says that you're currently second.
Didn't know we had cue cards for driver interviews now. Learned something new today, and it wasn't even from Dave. Texas Terry.
Another driver that struggled in practice, 33rd best.
Going to make his 800th NASCAR Nextel Cup Series start on Sunday. 800.
Man. Someone was talking to Morgan Shepherd down there. If he qualifies for the race, he will be starting his 500th race on Sunday. And he's 300 in front of him.
Wow. Terry be only the fourth driver to do so in NASCAR history. Richard Petty, Dave Marcus, and Darrell Waltrip are the others.
Pretty good lap for Terry on the first lap, 13th best. We're in a 35.
I'm being told I'm wrong. He'll be the fifth driver to do it.
You're used to that.
I know. Ricky Rudd. His 800 starts as well.
That's looking pretty good.
Well, this could be a very good run for Terry. Let's see. Picking up the fifth spot. Yeah, fifth spot. Almost a flat 29.087.
Qualified second here last September. He's fifth now in Bud Pole qualifying. Terry Labonte at New Hampshire. TNT at New Hampshire International Speedway with NASCAR Bud Pole qualifying, and it's Tony Stewart. He's on the racetrack now, winner of the most recent race at Chicagoland Speedway a week ago Sunday. 2 weeks ago Sunday.
And he's another driver, 24th best in the practice session held earlier. And his first lap, 14th best out of the 27 cars that have run.
6 top 10 starts here at New Hampshire for Tony Stewart. His 10 Nextel Cup Series try. Best a pair of fifth place efforts. He is a former winner at this racetrack. Did it in July of 2000.
All right, this is the one that counts. So far, down in turns 1 and 2, it's green, green, green. Up, going the wrong way. Our TNT pace chase for second down there was green, but this is a good run going for Tony Stewart.
Back to what we were talking about earlier, Wally. The farther into the qualifying session we get, the track normally
It's a little bit better.
improves.
Actually, you're putting temperature in the racetrack while these cars running.
Pretty good lap for Tony Stewart, I believe.
I think he'll be happy with that.
I'll tell you, fifth, 29.06. Very good run.
Of course, been much discussion between the Chicagoland race and this race of the restart. And Tony Stewart made contact with Casey Kane, and Casey wound up crashing. There was the scuffle on pit road afterwards when Kane's crew chief went to talk things over.
There we see the contact between Tony Stewart and the 9 car, and there we see the aforementioned scuffle. Chicagoland. Tommy Bowen being led out of the pits.
at Chicagoland a couple of weeks ago, Tony Stewart was not penalized by NASCAR for that on the restart. You guys both said at that time neither one of you thought it was his fault.
And still stand by that.
Oh, yeah. Again, I don't think that... Again, as I said at Chicago, he was impatient.
Yeah, I mean, it was his fault. Whenever you hit somebody, it's your fault. It wasn't intentional.
Right. That was the better word.
Yeah.
Tommy Baldwin fined $10,000 by NASCAR, $5,000 for conduct detrimental to the sport, $5,000 for the crew chief being responsible for the actions of his crew members.
Which is a grand total of
$10,000. Oh,
okay.
Is that what I just said?
No, yeah. Well, I was just thinking, what was it, 20 when I was driving for him at Charlotte a couple years ago? So you got off easy.
Oh, okay.
All right, Bobby Hamilton Jr. had a big slip on that first lap. He was still 24, so maybe this one he's going to be a little bit better. He was 13th best in the practice session, so there's some room for improvement, Bobby.
Don't have one of the pace chase boxes on board this car, so we can't put that up for you and show you how his lap time is.
No big slip that time that I saw. We'll see. Is it better? Is it better? I repeat.
I believe you're saying no.
Yeah, there yes, it is. There you go. Picked up a quarter of a second. Goes up to 17th best.
Qualifying for the NASCAR Busch Series race earlier, Jamie McMurray won the pole, and he's third fastest for the Nextel Cup race. Pretty good afternoon so far, Matty.
Good afternoon indeed, matching his best career start here at New Hampshire in the Cup car. Currently third, Jamie. Now, how was your run compared to the Busch car?
Just, you know, in the Busch car, they didn't let you scuff tires, and I think that was almost an advantage for me because we didn't really need to. Over here, we just kind of rolled them in a lap, and I don't know which lap was better, but the first lap felt better for me. We just couldn't pick up like some of the other guys go on their second lap.
Currently third, Jamie McMurray.
He didn't ask him about his body.
No, I should have, yeah. Elliott Sadler, the 38 M&Ms. Let's see, he in the practice session was 20th best, so right in the middle of the field.
Elliott 7th in the chase for the NASCAR Nextel Cup. One of those drivers who's looking as much behind him as he is in front of him at this point, with 8 races to go until that Richmond cutoff race.
I'll tell you what, there's going to be a lot of drivers. A sigh of relief after that Richmond race.
Oh, look at this lap.
Well, he started off real good, but boy, it didn't take that thing long to go the wrong direction.
Good lap, good first lap. Ain't quick.
Yeah, 29-16th on that first lap.
He's better down here. He was on his first lap, 3 and 4.
He was 20th in practice. He was 8th on lap 1. That's a pretty good little jump. Elliott Sadler's best New Hampshire qualifying, a 7th place effort back in September of 2000. And his second lap will be just a touch faster, but will leave him in 8th position outside of row 4. The Busch brothers will both hopefully be racing on Sunday. Marty's with the younger of the two.
Yeah, I tell you, Alan, he was pretty fast in practice. 11th fastest, Kyle. So the goal coming into the weekend was top 15 qualifying, top 15 finishing the race. Do you push it a little more and try to go for a top 10 start here, or you just be conservative and get in the show?
I think the best opportunity would be to be conservative and get it in the show. You know, the CarQuest guys have been doing an awesome job and trying to give me some good race cars, and all the boys back at the shop, you know, they're doing a good job too. So we'll just go out there and see what we can get with the CarQuest Chevrolet, and hopefully it's within the top 10, but realistically, hopefully top 15.
Trying to make his third Nextel Cup start, Matt.
Tony Stewart, the Chicago winner, now under the smoke scale. How would you describe your qualifying effort today, Tony?
Out of 10, it was an 8 on the smoke scale. The guys did a good job making changes. I really blew the first lap trying to go fast, and really made up for the second lap. It's faster than I thought I went, but was hoping to get down in the high 9s there instead of the O's, but I'm pretty satisfied with that run.
Now, your buddy Dale Jr. injured out in Sonoma in the road course car. Now, I understand you've offered up your plane or your helicopter to help him out this weekend if he needs it.
Yeah, I talked to him on the phone the other day. He was real sore, so he said he might need a favor. So I told him whatever he needs, just let us know. You know, I had my heels burnt my rookie year in the Cup Series and know how sore that can be. So I had similar burns to what he's got in other areas of his body, but I know how miserable that feels. So you know, whatever we can do to help him this weekend and just make him more comfortable to whether it's getting him out of the racetrack earlier or just whatever any of us can do to help. I mean, a number of us have had burns in our careers, but and know how painful it is. So we just want to help him out, but just told him that anything he needs to let us know.
Now, during the off week, did you have a chance to get in contact with Casey Kane?
And actually, I've tried for about 3 days straight now, and we keep playing phone tag with each other. So we'll talk today. I mean, we're both here, and I left him a message. He called back and played phone tag with me and left a message. So I'm sure we'll get together tonight.
Tony Stewart, currently in the top 5, guys.
You know, it's something that Junior brought up in the press conference here today. That was see Casey Kane getting ready to go out and make his qualifying run. One thing Junior brought up that said, well, take some drugs for the pain. You know, they make pain medicine. But NASCAR, that falls under the substance abuse. So he had to stop taking the pain pills yesterday morning so he could drive this weekend. He could pass a drug test.
You can't be taking codeine and morphine if you're going to drive a race car. That would fall into the category of operating heavy equipment, wouldn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. This is the Budweiser car with Martin Truex Jr.
Second fastest in practice, time to beat is 28.858. The number put up by Jimmy Johnson a little while ago. Pace Chase says...
Close.
Yeah.
I got through 1 and 2 pretty good.
Close. And you can tell that he really had an aggressive first lap. He was going for that pole position.
Truex Jr. has experience here at New Hampshire in the NASCAR Busch North Series. He's got a couple of wins and 3 poles in that series in 10 starts.
Wow, look at that thing. When he hits the brakes, the nose just bounces off the ground. 4th best at first lap. Look at this. Green, green, green. 2, 1, and 2.
Well, the fans will go nuts if he pulls this off.
Still green, green, green. Oh, no. Just barely right on the edge. Got in very well. Man, a perfect lap will do it.
Oh, going backwards.
Going backwards. It's going to be close. No, I don't get him.
I don't think so.
Second best. Martin Truex Jr. Second quickest, substituting for Dale Earnhardt Jr. and being recognized by this huge crowd in New Hampshire for his effort. You're watching NASCAR on TNT. NASCAR Bud Pole qualifying from New Hampshire International Speedway on TNT is brought to you by Just for Men. More than a hair color, it's the Rejuvenator, and spray in 5 minutes looks natural. By TGI Fridays, cut the carbs, keep the flavor with their bigger, better Atkins approved menu. And by Harley Davidson, it's time to ride. Todd Bodine, the latest driver, on the track here at New Hampshire International Speedway for his Bud Pole qualifying run, the 32nd of 45 to make a time lap. They're all chasing Jimmy Johnson, who's quickest so far.
And Todd was 40th best in practice, so he's got to pick up his cars off. He's off the pace.
I think he shut it off after lap 1. One and done for Todd Bodine, 32nd out of 32 so far.
Something happened that little ride, I'm telling you, on that qualifying run. Where's Burns, you suppose?
Yeah.
Oh, folks, if you're just joining us, you know that Alan wondered about the letter H and the song therein presented on Sesame Street earlier, where Alan actually, the H is a presenting sponsor of the Ha 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 song. Here is the chorus. Ha 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 ho ho he. That's about as funny as it can be. He 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 ha ha ho. H is the letter that we love so. Now, please, 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 let us remember that H in my context today stands for helicopter, and that's what my next report will be about.
And you don't have to look it up because
we already did.
Here's Scott Wimmer on track while Matt corrals the driver who's second fastest so far, Martin Truex Jr.
Second fastest in practice. That's all you had?
Yeah, the car was really good. I think if we could do it one more time, we could go faster, obviously, but everybody could. So just real proud just to be a part of this team. It's a great team, obviously. They led to points and to run second, and just for a guy like me, a rookie, to come in here and to work with a team like this is just a dream come true, and I'm just glad I can help. Junior's hopefully he's in there watching, and hopefully he'll be better for next week, but we're just gonna just do the best we can. That's what we did today. Had fun. There was no pressure, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it. So I wish my Busch car ran that good, but we'll work on it for tomorrow. We'll be good in that too.
Describe that fast lap, Mark.
It was decent. It wasn't as good as we were when we unloaded, and we tried a few things, and you know, I kind of messed the car up a little bit here and there, and the track got away from us there at the end of practice. So Tony Jr. and me got together, and he done some things that that really made the car work a lot better. And if we could do just a little bit more of what we did, we'd probably been really good. But I'm ecstatic with that lap. So I don't know. We'll just see what happens tomorrow at happy hour and have some more fun, practice the car, get it going faster.
The entire team ecstatic with that performance, currently second.
He should be ecstatic.
Yeah, exactly.
Scott Wimmer is 28th fastest out of 33, and Casey Kane is with Marty as he gets set to go.
Yeah, another young man with a great shot at the pole, third fastest in practice. Do you have a shot at winning the fast spot today, Casey?
I think we have a really good car. Dodge dealers, UAW Dodge is fast, so see what happens. I know Ryan still has to go, and Jimmy put down a good lap, so hopefully.
And we have a crash on the track.
Kyle Busch, who does not have a provisional to fall back on in this limited effort out of the Hendrick R&D shop, and now he's got a very wrinkled up race car.
And we just talked to him and asked him, was he going to go for it or, you know, just try to get a top 15 run? And he's a little bit upset.
That was coming to the green flag, wasn't it?
And the ambulance is chasing him.
They may not catch him for a while.
I know they won't.
Let's go back and show you what happened.
Well, it happened as he exited turn 4, coming down 4, the green flag. Boy, a little bit loose. He was on the gas, though,
he
wasn't
tried saving it, yeah.
He chased it, didn't catch it.
Yeah, he was on the gas. There's the green flag.
Still going.
Yeah, he's still waving that green flag.
Oh, if he'd have just kept it from rolling a Clark. Well, never mind. It was a wrecked car anyway.
Just right when you jump on the throttle. Broke loose.
And then broke.
And then broke. Traction.
So his qualifying has started.
Never a good sound. And so Kyle is back in the garage area. And we were talking with Casey Kane when things went wrong for Kyle. Marty, you want to continue?
Oh, Marty.
I'm here, Wally.
There you go.
Thank you. We'll continue talking with Casey Kane, who has a good shot to win the pole. Now, Tony Stewart said that you guys have exchanged voicemails. Do you plan on talking with him this evening?
Yeah, I'd imagine we will sometime this weekend. I mean, our coaches are pretty close together, so we'll run into each other. But he tried calling me, I tried calling him back, and we haven't talked yet.
Have you guys, do you put something like that behind you immediately, or do you let it worry you at all?
No, I don't let it worry me at all. I think, hopefully all that's behind us, and we don't have to have any more than problems this year, so we can, try to keep this car up front.
Alan?
Casey Kane, who was third fastest in practice. Ryan Newman still to come as well. But we're under the red flag here at New Hampshire International Speedway after Kyle Busch crashed coming to the green flag for his qualifying attempt. Cleanup complete back under the green at New Hampshire. That's Ken Schrader on the track. Coming to TNT, a man who lived life on the edge. The TNT original Evel Knievel. Next Friday at 8 p.m. The TNT original movie. Followed by, on Saturday night, Robbie Knievel with a jump on the former USS Intrepid live from New York on TNT. Wally, you're going to be part of that telecast, right?
I am. That's going to be cool.
You're going to give him the green flag? Or
I'm going to give him the green flag. I'm going to be there with my mic, and it's going to be fun. I'm going to be there all week watching them build the ramps and what all they have to do. There's a lot to it. They don't just set up it, ramp, and go. There's a lot to it, so
Now,
be there all week.
Aircraft carriers are, I mean, they're big, but to get up to speed, to jump what he's going to jump, and to land and stop.
It's all about the ramp, and it's all about the stop. You're exactly right. He does not have much room to stop. 130, 140 feet.
If he doesn't stop, he goes
in the water. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, and that's a long ways. I don't know what it is, but it's a long way from the top of a aircraft carrier to the water.
Ooh. Hey, pretty good lap for Schrader. He's 11th best. Check it out, 29-20.
Good lap for Kenny.
Very good lap.
A couple times a Bud Pole winner here at New Hampshire, so good one there for Schrader.
He likes this place, and he goes good here.
And by the way, Robbie Knievel will be here tomorrow.
Yes, Robbie will be here tomorrow as our guest, as my Wally World passenger.
So you'll take him for a ride in the stock car here tomorrow that we'll see on Sunday. I wonder if we can talk him into giving you a ride on the motorcycle as he practices
sure he
the
would
jump.
do it, but I don't think I'm going to do it. Get on the back of that motorcycle.
Darn the luck. Here's Jeff Burton, green flag. A 4-time New Hampshire International Speedway winner.
And he runs so good at this racetrack. He was just 25th best in practice, and that's about where he is currently, but over the years, this 99 car has been very, very good.
There's Jeff. He started in front and won. He started second and won 1 year. He also started way back in the back of the pack and won 1 year. Started on a provisional and took the checker flag.
All right, so far he's 21st. 36 cars have attempted qualifying, and Burton is 21st with another lap to go.
He lost a lot of time right before the center there.
Pace chase right now puts him about 17th, 18th. Well, it's taking a drop now. A little trouble getting through the center of 3 and 4. Of course, as fast as that thing spins, that tells you just how close these times are together. Talking hundreds and thousands of a second can swing you 4 and 5 positions. And Jeff ends up 20th out of 36, and we have 9 cars to go. David, what do you got for us?
H stands for helicopter, H stands for Harvick, and right now we're going to talk about the in-car camera helicopters that work in conjunction with our production crew. Another part of the aerial show, if you will, at every speedway. These guys over here, Trent and Cody, are working on the Emmy Award-winning BST team. They are installing 3 in-car cameras on Kevin Harvick's car right now. There will be 10 cars in the race carrying cameras, and they'll send their signals 2,500 feet up in the air to one of our choppers. It gets the signal, and using a repeater, sends it back down to the BST truck, who then send it over to our production crew, and we get the signal and put it on the air. Pretty cool how all that works. Now, that chopper will stay up in the air all day long except to refuel. When he comes down, we've got a backup. That's the chopper that also has a repeater, but it also gives you the aerial views and sometimes the replays of incidents from up on high. So we've got our own choppers working in the airspace around here. They're also hearing from the guys at ETA. They're aware of what information is being passed along to all the chopper pilots out there, and it's just another part of the aviation here at the Speedway, and it's how we get an in-car signal back to the folks at home. Alan?
I'd like to know who actually thought that up, using a helicopter basically as a satellite to get pictures out of race cars.
I think that technology came from Australia back in the late 70s.
It's pretty remarkable stuff. Here's Brendan Gaughan, 24th fastest on the first of his 2 laps in the 77. Looking to make his NASCAR Nextel Cup Series debut here at New Hampshire. A couple of truck races here in his past with a qualifying of 4th and 2nd and a pair of 5th place finishes.
He's usually a pretty good qualifier.
Sure is. Right now, 24th best. And we'll see. Did he pick it up on his second lap? Did he pick it up on his second lap? Yeah, he went 200ths of a second faster. And guess what? He picked up 1 spot, up to 22nd.
Brendan's teammate Ryan Newman still to come. The fastest car in practice from earlier today. It's been a long wait on the Bud Pole for Jimmy Johnson. You see Newman's team gathering around. There's crew chief Matt Borland there with the radio headset. Center of the picture.
All right, here's a bullet that Jimmy Johnson has got to dodge. I think Ryan Newman is probably the biggest gun. It's probably a 45. This one might be a 22, but it's still a very fast car here.
Casey Kane has been very solid in Bud Pole qualifying this year. He's got 4 pole positions. Las Vegas, Darlington, California, Pocono. Can he make it 5 in New Hampshire?
He would have to run just a little bit faster than he practiced. He practiced at a 90. Right now the pole is an 85.
Looked good. One in there. Yeah, he looked good through there.
Casey looking for his first NASCAR Nextel Cup Series start here at New Hampshire. Pace Chase says he's a little bit off.
Not too good.
I think he lost his time down here, though, on 3 and 4. He got to 1 and 2.
11th on his his first lap, tracking his second.
And right now it's green, green, green as he comes off the second corner, but just barely. Just barely. Now it's a little bit to the red. A little bit slower than Jimmy Johnson's speed.
10 right in the center. He just can't get after the throttle.
A little too much to make up.
Still a good lap. He's going to be where? In the top 5? 5th.
28.984 for Casey Kane. So Jimmy Johnson dodges that one. And now we are down to 7 cars to go. And we check in with Marty Snyder.
And I don't care where Ricky Craven practices on the sheet. He's always a threat for the pole here at New Hampshire. Good to be home, Ricky.
Yeah, it's always nice to be home. I'm really looking forward to this qualifying run. I'm optimistic. I feel good about the car. And as you said a moment ago, you know, it's always nice to get home.
Announcement today that you will not be back on the 32 car next year, Ricky.
Yeah, we made that announcement, and you know, Cal and I worked hard on that, and it was the right decision, you know. But it's been a really good 3.5 years, and I appreciate what Cal's done for me. I really appreciate what this team's done for me, and it's not over. We got another half of racing, and I'm really looking forward to it.
18 races to go. Ricky Craven will still be in the 32 car this year, but next year will not be back in this ride.
All right, here's a guy with a new crew chief, Bobby Labonte.
Michael McSwain and the team parting company after the Chicagoland race. Team president J.D. Gibbs saying there's just a chemistry issue there that wasn't working between them all.
And Brandon Thomas, an engineer with the car, has stepped up to take the crew chief position.
And first lap for Bobby's going to put him 15th out of 39 at a 29.263. Practice earlier today for the 18. He was 32nd, so that's a pretty good little improvement.
He actually ran much faster, well, about a 10th of a second faster in qualifying than he did in practice. And Kyle Busch has been bumped from the top 38, so it looks like his car will be loaded up and taken back to Concord, North Carolina to the Hendrick Motorsports shop.
Bobby's second lap a little slower, so it is going to be 15th out of 39 for Bobby Labonte. And we've got 6 cars to go in Bud Pole qualifying from New Hampshire. TNT with coverage of Bud Pole qualifying from New Hampshire. This could be a good one. It's Dave Blaney in the AOL 30 for Richard Childress Racing.
He ran a 29 flat in practice, and right now that would put him in 6th position if he could just duplicate. But this wheel's going the wrong way. Slow down, wheel, slow down. TNT pace chase down to about a 1/3 of a second slower than the speed turned in by Jimmy Johnson.
See where he ranks here as he comes in. He's in the 12th, 13th range. He will be 13th. 29.210 for Dave on the first lap.
Is the water he's moving the back of the car?
Yeah, all the cars pretty much today have been dumping a lot of water. Well, they're pretty much taped up solid on everybody on those qualifying runs. They completely closed the front off.
And it is a pretty muggy day for northern New England. Dave Blaney, best qualifying effort in 4 races in this car was a 23rd at Daytona, so it looks like he's going to best that today as he bumps up to 11th spot on lap number 2.
29.14, 147 for Blaney. That will bump Todd Bodine, the 98 car, out of the top 38, and Kevin LePage is now the car on the bubble.
5 cars to go. Dave, you've been flying around here all day. What do you got for us?
One last time, Alan, I want to talk about one last helicopter. What helicopter do you think has top priority overall in the airspace on a race weekend?
I would say the medical.
Thank you very much, Wally. That's absolutely true. It is one helicopter we haven't talked about yet, but it's always at the track to help in any case where the guys are seriously injured, and the facilities here at the track are not what they need to get things done. In minutes, they are moved to a specialized area with specialized people if that is necessary, and it's just one more way that the airspace is taken care of around here. If that happens, they clear everybody out, commercial, non-commercial, anybody who's leaving, coming, or whatever, and they make sure that they can get the drivers out of here or whoever to the facilities that they need. So that is the end of our discussion on helicopters and aviation here at the racetrack.
All right, Dave. And we learned the words to the H song from Sesame Street.
And this is Kurt Sherman decided when he got here that he would put Ted Christopher in this car and see if Ted could get it up to speed. That's what I thought he was going to do. Let's see. And I tell you what, Ted is in 36th position so far.
Not familiar with Ted Christopher, a NASCAR modified regional champion, very successful in the NASCAR Busch North Series as well. Remember, had some drives from Michael Waltrip a few years ago in a NASCAR Busch Series car. Acquitted himself quite well also.
He picked it up a little bit, did he? No, slowed down a little bit on that second lap. So his first lap will be the lap.
But it's in the field for now. 36th fastest for Teddy Christopher out of Plainville, Connecticut is his hometown. And we'll see if he's able to hang on to that spot qualified in the field. I'd probably get a provisional.
When I look back at the rest of the field, Teddy might be in big trouble. We got Ricky Craven, Rusty Wallace, Scott Riggs, and that car, the Rocket Man, Ryan Newman.
So how do you think Jimmy Johnson feels? I mean, you've been in this position before, BP. You went out there, put up a lap that sits on the pole, and then you have to wait for about an hour to find out if it's yours or not.
I think he just knows it's going to happen. He's not playing on the pole position. He's not, you know, practicing his acceptance speech or anything like that, because it's not his speech to give. It's probably going to be Ryan's speech to give.
And being last, he's a little bit anxious.
Yeah.
No, but he knows the number, so. But I think it's an advantage at this place. It always is going late.
Loose there for the hometown hero, Ricky Craven. Newburgh, Maine native, spent a good chunk of the formative years of his racing career in Concord, New Hampshire, which is the city nearest where we are in Loudon.
Yeah, we're going to have to throw that lap away.
Yeah. Practice for Ricky today. He was 18th quickest, and he is a two-time Bud Pole winner here at this racetrack.
31st best.
Now that's good.
Nice.
Looking good.
All right, Kevin LePage has been bumped. Hermie Sadler's been bumped. Morgan Shepherd is now 38th. Ted Christopher 37th. All right, here we go. It's much better. 10th.
Pace Chase is
check this out. 7th so far.
8th.
You know if it comes up on the scoreboard by listening.
Good job, Rick. That's 8, buddy. Good job.
Very good job. Almost a flat. 29.079.
He does get around this place.
Well, the scoreboard only runs 7 places deep here, so didn't get the crowd response I was figuring on there.
I was going for it that first lap, and I got crossed up pretty bad over here, too.
We noticed that, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
And now there are 3 drivers left to go. Here's Rusty Wallace. So who won the first NASCAR Nextel Cup Series race here in New Hampshire?
Whoa, that was
let me see. Let me see.
Would you say
Rusty? I'll take Rusty.
Thank you.
Well, now we know the code.
Yeah, we know the code.
I'll have to change it then. Rusty Wallace in practice earlier today was 26th. He has qualified 11th the last 2 times.
Was that slip coming down for the green?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I said, how in the world did he slip that badly and still be in 12th spot? But it's coming down for the green. It probably hurt him some, but it's not a bad lap.
And he's got a regroup lap, too.
Yes, he does.
10th fastest for Rusty, 29.105.
We got a little bit loose there.
Our TNT Pace Chase was green till he, just when Wally said he got a little bit loose and it went the other direction, but
and a little bit loose is 5 spots. It went jump from 1st to 5th or 6th. Recovered.
He practiced 26th and put Rusty Wallace up to 7th spot in the grid order to this point. 29.051 for the 1989 champion.
So Morgan Shepherd is now 39th out of the field. Teddy Christopher, the car on the bubble.
And 2 cars to go.
He won the first race here? Ricky
Ricky won the second year, 1994.
Okay.
And still, he lurks.
Yeah.
Somehow. Ryan Newman, I mean, his qualifying record here in New Hampshire is unbelievable. He's got where is it here? 2 poles in 3 tries. He's run 4 races here. Qualifying was rained out for 1 of them, so in 3 tries, 2 poles.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Not bad.
That's an average you'd take if you could get it, right? Scott Riggs.
I'll tell you what, this car has been, the last month, then got so much better.
Yeah. I talked with Scott about that this morning. He said, you know, you have to understand, not only did we have a rookie driver, we had a rookie crew chief. Brought his NASCAR Busch Series crew chief with him. He said it just took us some time to figure this all out. But they're getting much better. They're much more confident in knowing what to do to the car to make it, to adjust it the way they want it. You know, change A results in reaction B. Right. He said they didn't have that the first part of the season, where they've kind of gotten that down now.
Well, it's the second half. You're going to these places for the second time. Well, not here, but most everywhere from now on.
They will be going here twice in the second half.
It's a good run, too. First lap, he's 14th.
Said, what'd you do last weekend on your summer break? He said, I just hung around in shorts and flip-flops. Played with my son. I said, that was a good plan.
Second lap, he slowed down just a little bit, so the first lap is the 14th best at 29.151.
Teddy Christopher bumped back into provisional land. Kyle Petty is on the bubble, and here he comes.
Drum roll, please.
Jimmy Johnson was just about halfway through the qualifying session. He was the 21st driver to run. And now, the 45th. Ryan final is on the track. He ran in practice a 28.678. Fast time right now is a 28.858. If he can back it up, he's going to blow Jimmy Johnson away.
And Ron, you don't have to go as fast as it'll go. It'll still be on the pole.
3 bud poles so far this season for Ryan Newman. 6 front row starts.
Green, green, green. Oh, he got loose. He got loose down in the corner.
Okay, start all over.
Leave the tires off.
All right, get everything back under control.
Jimmy Johnson just went.
Wow. Maybe I got a chance.
Hey, now that confidence going back down there, it's working on him right now.
Is he going to drive it down in the corner as deeply as he did earlier? Well, knowing Ron, he probably will. All right, here we go.
That one was 38th, by the way. Whoa!
A little slide, but
still green.
Still green. Oh, he may go in the red now.
Yep. Well, right at it. Just right, very close. Jimmy, there's a little hope here, Jimmy. Oh, sorry, Jimmy. Sorry, Jimmy.
I think it's all over.
Here he comes.
Looks like it's in.
Rocket Man has done it. 28.776. Matt Borland relaying the news to his driver. And the last man to go has won the Bud Pole today here in New Hampshire, Ryan Newman.
How about that? Sorry, Jimmy.
We'll recap things here from Ryan Newman and give you the starting lineup for Sunday's race when we come back. NASCAR qualifying from New Hampshire International Speedway on TNT is brought to you by Lamisil AT. There's no better way to cure athlete's foot. By Wendy's new home-style chicken strip salad, a sensational salad that really satisfies. Wendy's, it's better here. And by Miller High Life. To live simply, proudly, boldly, manly, this is the High Life. Marty Snyder has Ryan Newman.
As the rain begins to fall, Alan, and leave it to Ryan Newman to make it at least exciting. Boy, you really got loose on that first lap, Ryan.
Yeah, I guess Rain Man's back, huh?
I guess so.
Yeah, I messed up the first lap and just got a little loose, got up in the marbles and knew that we had the opportunity for the second lap. And I guess the key word for today was potential. We were talking about it earlier, but we had the potential to get back and get it together, and we did. And just got to thank everybody back at the shop, the engine company, and everybody at Altel, Mobile One, and Sony.
How do you recompose yourself when you know you just messed up the first lap and you've got to hit the second lap perfect?
I hadn't messed up all day as far as getting up that high, and just got a little loose. And once I got the right front tire up there, it's really hard to get it back. And once I did, I cleaned the tires off on the back straightaway and through 3 and 4, and finally got it together for that last lap, but just enough to beat him.
He mentions the rain, man. It rained here when he won his first ever NASCAR Cup race, and raining again as we speak right now, Alan.
All right, Marty. Well, Ryan Newman with his 4th Bud Pole of 2004, his 3rd here at New Hampshire in just 4 tries, and his 22nd career pole in 99 starts.
That's incredible.
And the starting lineup for Sunday's Siemens 300, Jimmy Johnson going to be alongside Ryan Newman on the front row. Martin Truex Jr. inside row 2, subbing for Dale Jr. Ricky Craven, the hometown hero, with Tony Stewart in row 5.
Good run for Ward Burton with a new crew chief. Elliott Sadler back in the 7th row, the first Ford, looks like.
Ken Schrader, row 9 with Joe Nemechek. Jeff Gordon
did not win 5 poles in a row. Instead, he will start 24th.
Dale Jarrett, former winner here. Mark Martin, Jeff Burton, former winner here. Both of them, rows 13 and 14.
That's 4 cars in a row. Putting Jeff Gordon in that group that potential winners here on Sunday.
And the final drivers to get in on time. Matt Kenseth coming from deep in the field. Nothing terribly unusual there. He'll be up around the front somewhere by the time the checkered flag waves. And Scott Wimmer, 38th position, last one on time. Rest of them in on provisional starting spots or other methods of entry per the NASCAR rulebook. And Hermie Sadler with the 43rd and final starting spot. Kyle Busch, Kevin LePage failed to qualify, and that's it. Tomorrow on TNT, NASCAR Nextel Cup Happy Hour at noon Eastern, followed by NASCAR Busch Series Racing. Then Sunday, it's 1:30 Eastern Time. Discover Card Countdown to Green kicks us off, followed by the 300 from here in New Hampshire. Ryan Newman, your Bud Pole winner today.